Hello, hello. So my battery went dead on me and it never warned me. It warned me like it gave a warning, hey, battery low, and it just shut off. Luckily the recording works, so I'm just doing a part one and part two. With that basically said, we were just talking about about how this expense column up on top, we're going to keep that up on top just so we don't have to flip back and forth, and then we'll delete it at the end. But the rest of the stuff we'll just delete, like the totals from advertising and all the rest of them. Um, so one thing I can see here really quick, and maybe we could have done this a lot better, is we have Google AdWords and Google Apps as like advertising, and then we have another section called advertising, but they were named different, right? So like instead, like I'm just gonna delete this advertising PPC, etc. or whatever, like just delete it all out, like make it go away, right? And then I'm gonna delete like the advertising column up on top here, like the data, which is just the total on the top, which is stupid looking. And then I'm going to take the Google AdWords and Google Apps, and I'm going to copy it, or not copy, but cut it, and then paste it up on top. And then we're going to insert an extra row here. And we're going to put total advertising. Okay. And then we're going to sum that up and copy that over and go all the way to the end. Okay. So now we should just have those all in one section, right? So content written, we're going to delete this stuff here. And by the way, if it's better for you, you might just want to keep that up on top and then just make sure that like it looks okay to you. Like you could check the totals, and that's probably what I should do, but I'm not. But I always check it at the end, I guess. And probably I do that. I just very tired right now. Unfortunately. I've been doing these videos for 2 days now, and I didn't think it would take this long, but I've committed to it, and my golly, I'm going to get this done. We're almost there, um, so here we have like education and training. This is really annoying with these, like trying to right click and like I'm hitting it so many times and it's not working. Okay. So I'm going to try to just like fly through this as quickly as possible because there's not a lot to talk about as it's pretty repetitive. This people per hour, I'm just gonna, it's only like 15 bucks or 51 bucks. So I'm just gonna put it as people per hour, I guess, and move that over to here. 3 times that time to get one to come, get it to work. This is kind of hard to read. Like, oh, okay. Got to leave this out. This is like, you could probably quickly see why I really, really hate this report. This report sucks. Like somebody was supposed to make this to where it just did it automatically, and Jeff said he could never get the guy to get it to just work like it needed to. This one I'm just gonna leave meals and entertainment. Same thing with parking. Like, just leave it as parking. We don't need to know that it was, you know, Sheraton or whatever. So payroll. Payroll by far, we're getting to the very end right now. So luckily, a lot of people in payroll. So we need to. And then software, like some of that stuff that said like IT, that could probably go into software, but I don't care. We're just going to leave it as is for now. Okay. So we're getting very, very, very close here to being done. Okay, software, and then, like, I don't know what this whole thing's about, but we're just going to leave it as stock photos, graphics, and we'll take that out. So the only thing we need to do now is just software. Okay. So close to being done. Ah, shit. Really hate this. I mean, I don't mean to, like, sound like a drag or anything, but I'm, like, literally getting to the point where I'm so tired. Like, explaining this and doing this report is fucking annoying. I'm sorry, but like at first it was kind of cool. Like, cool, I can get this done. This will be helpful. Now I'm just so tired. I didn't realize this fucking report sucks dick big time, man. So I'm sorry. I'm like getting a little woozy and crazy and shit, and so I'm just like at that point now. But luckily we're almost there, right? Okay, so we got this whole thing kind of done. So now what we kind of need to look at is um, getting the totals of everything, like for the expenses. Okay, so that's next. Okay, so total expenses. Okay, so we need to equal this plus total software plus, I'm going to go kind of slow because we just got to make sure this one is right. That plus, right, like we don't want to miss any because that would suck. Okay, so parking plus total IT and internet plus people per hour plus education and training content written advertising, and that's it, right? So like now what we can do is just copy this over and hopefully it will be correct. And if it is, we will be very happy because that means we are almost done. Okay. So we have 51,686 here, right? Let's go to the top of expenses. Oh shoot. We have 73,000. There's a problem. And that's not good. And that is not fun. And that really sucks. Sucks. Because we have like a different number than what it should be here. Yeah, that's not good. And it's not just off a little, it's off a lot, right? So let's just look at like everything we're adding here and see if there's anything we can see missing. So I do see we're missing meals and entertainment. That's only like $60, right? So let's just add in the meals and entertainment for the meal and entertainment of it. Okay, so we've added that. Um, that's not going to make it change very much. Um, so the question then becomes, why are we off by so much, right? So now this comes to, like, did I screw up a formula somewhere? And, I'm okay with creating this video just to show that this can happen, you know? So one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Like, we're going to see which ones are actually, like, not correct, and then see if we can figure out, like, where we are wrong at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an extra column or an extra row here, and I'm going to go up to the expenses. Right here, and I'm going to just copy this whole thing. We're going to go to the bottom. Here's our total expenses. And so I'm going to copy that in. And so we can see, like, these all look correct. So we're going to see where is it that, like, the first time we see a discrepancy. And here it is. Like, we're missing something here, right? What is it that we're missing that's making this one incorrect, right? We need to figure that out. So generally I'm pretty good. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but I'm pretty good at not doing this. I don't think I've ever done it before, actually. But maybe with just trying to talk, it just didn't work out the way I wanted to. So let me just try one more time and see if I can. I doubt that's the case, though. Like, oops, I hit F1 instead of F2. Where's F2? Okay. So, like, where are we missing the numbers is going to be the question, right? So, like, I can also, like, well, let's just do F2. I'm pretty sure we got everything. I mean, there was that one section that we forgot, but, like, that's not going to entirely mess things up, right? I keep hitting F1 instead of F2. So that looks correct. Oh, I can't see there. Gotta scroll up. Ah, So luckily this looks like it's probably the payroll is not going all the way to the top. So I think if we fix that, we should be okay. Let's just hope that's the case. Now let's take a look. Ah ha ha, see, these were wrong. They're not wrong anymore. Ah ha ha. Thank God I didn't do anything like extreme, like deleted something accidentally or something like that. So we could basically see that, like, all these are good now and the final numbers are correct. So we can just go ahead and delete this out. So that was a good thing. It wasn't like super detrimental. The grand total is going to be like the total net income. So we're going to put net income slash loss here. And basically all we need to do is just take the total expenses and combine it with total revenue. But we got to go all the way up to total revenue, right? And so there's that number. And then we're just going to copy it all the way over. And like we know the expenses matched and the revenues matched. So like there should be no reason why this doesn't match. And unfortunately, I don't know why under the grand total here, we have a 49.26, but we have a 61.36. Weird, because let's go through these and see if there's any that look like they're off. So one easy way we could do that is just take this minus this, and let's just see like how much this is off by. So we're off by like 1,200. So in theory, if that one's off, then something else has to be off, right? You would think. So all these are all 0. So far 0. So far 0. Here's one for 60 bucks. So like, why is this off? You know, that's the question. Now it's going to get confusing. You can see should just be 0. It's some kind of weird error. That's 250. So there's a bunch of these that are off, right? So the question is, why are these off? Because I thought in theory we had everything correct, right? So now we need to kind of like backtrack and check the revenue and expenses again. Okay, so total revenue here is this number here. What we can do is like, let's go to the original pivot table and let's just copy all these numbers here on the top. These are total revenue. Okay. And then let's just go to sheet 3. And for now, let's just insert a row. I'm probably going to have to go back. Oh, I can insert. No, I don't want to do that for now. I'm scared I'll do something bad, right? So let's just insert a row here. Okay. And this, by the way, doesn't change the formulas. It should automatically know. So we'll go back here, hit Control C, and go back to sheet 3, and hit Control V. And so, like, for now, just to see, I'm just going to say equals this minus this. And let's just, like, copy that all the way over. And let's just find out if we're missing anything, right? Like, is there something not correct? So we should see something that doesn't show up as a 0 if there's something wrong. So you can see like all these are 0 so far. Revenue is on the dot. Revenue is on the dot, right? So like this is good. Like there's nothing that I saw wrong, and the totals at the end right here, you can see like everything's on the dot, right? So the question then remains, like, what are we missing? What key element are we missing here? So like, just to make sure we don't want any of this, right? We don't want this staying here anymore. Okay, because we got our total revenue here, right? Okay. So now we're on a mission. And we've basically said revenue matches. Now I thought expenses matched. We're going to go through that again. We're going to make sure. Because if the revenues both match and the expenses both match, there is no reason why the grand total and our net income should not match, in theory, right? So we're going to go back and see what we can figure out here. I didn't plan for this video to be this long, but that's cool. Let's see. So we're going to go to the bottom. Oh no, we need to get to expense on the top, right? Okay, here's revenue and here's expense. Okay, so this is the first row, I think. Yeah, that's the first one. So here's expenses here. Okay, so we're going to copy this one. And we're going to go to sheet 3. And we're going to paste that in. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say equals this minus this. And hopefully we see zeros all across the, well, I don't know if I want to say hopefully, because if we do, then we're going to be asking another question is why are the, why are they off? Ah, there's one off by $60. Okay, so in other words, we know there's something still wrong with this. I thought we had it correct. So let's just go to the end now and see what the difference is. So that amount there matches, and I thought we had it corrected. So the question now remains is, like, why are we off? So let's just look at the first one, like the first one that shows that we're not off, and let's just kind of take it from there, right? So we have $60 that's off, okay? So, like, what is it that could make this off by $60, right? So we're going to probably have to reference the other sheet and see where that $60 is, because, like, we need to step into each one. So, I think in theory what we want to do is just go to the totals of these and make sure that they're correct. Now we did merge these two together, right? So we need to look at those as two and not just one. Okay, so we need to go to the very end on these and see this. So, like, here we need to change the view on this table because we need to be able to see, like, what we're looking at, right? So we're going to change this. Let's close this out because that's taking up too much space. So let's go to view and let's freeze it right here. That should be perfect. So we don't need to worry about the revenue. We want to go to the expense, right? So that's where we're at now. We're on the expense. Okay, so we're going to go to the very end. Okay, and so we know the total here is that, but we have advertising. We have two advertisings, right? So with these two advertisings, we have 15,148.19. That's what we should have for the for this as well, right? Like, because we combined them together. So let's just look at the end, 15,148.19, right? So, and here it is 15,148.19. So that part we did correctly. Okay. So why is this not showing the end? There we go. Okay. So those two are correct. And then content written should be 5,000. So let's go back there and see what content written is. Total content written is 5,000. So far we're like right on target. So education and training is 273.95. Let's look at the education and training. 273.95. So we're correct there. And then we had like the people per hour at 5180. And we can see independent contractor 5180. Internet and IT should be 169.55, and that's what we have for this as well. We have $60.52 for meals and entertainment. So those look correct. We have $26 for parking. We have that parking incorrect, or not incorrect, but or entered correctly, I should say. And then payroll should be $48,297. Payroll's still screwed up somewhere. So this is kind of odd. Like, what's causing the payroll to not be correct? I'm just kind of eyeballing it, make sure. Okay, so 48,297. That looks correct now, right? Yeah, okay. So we need to go back across this and make sure total payroll is correct. Okay. I thought I fixed this. I really did. So, like I said, I'm getting very tired. Okay, so now let's just take a look and see if these are all zeroing out now. No. There's only one. Okay, this is 0. There's only one. This is 0. This is 0. Okay. I'm going to create a separate video on how to format this. This is going to be the troubleshooting video. Kind of my approach and how I, like, so far there's only one that's, like, off, right? And it's a very small amount. And I think I know what it is. There was that time we missed one, and we never, like, added it to the totals. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. This one right here. There's one item we forgot. If we look here, here's the 6252. It's off as well here. And we just didn't see that one, or I didn't see it when I was looking. And if I kind of scroll up on this one, I'm going to find it. Watch, 6052. So, like, in our formulas, we forgot to add meals and entertainment. That's what it is. Like, so, like, all we need to do in this total expenses is, where's that 6252? Let me find that again. Where are you at? 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 Oh, I didn't see it. There it is. 6052. Okay. So that one was 65, row 65, right? So, like, if we look at total expenses, we don't see, like, 65, right? We went from 63. So, if we just add U65 here, right? That number is going to stay the same, but we're just going to paste this across the whole entire spectrum here. And now that should fix it. Yeah, it was a small error. But the thing is, sometimes you don't know that a small error, it might look like a small error and it could be a big error, right? But in theory, like, that's 0. So I think this was the one that had it, and I think we're clean now. Yeah, this is a legit report. As legit as it can get. So this video was troubleshooting, trying to find a problem. I think it was still good for you to learn it if you were able to endure going through it. And next video, we're gonna, like, now we know the numbers are good, we're going to pretty it up. So I'll see you in that video.